Hi everyone, it's Danya here. Welcome to my channel. Today is card kit time. And before I get into this, I just want to thank everyone for all the sweet comments. And I am finally starting to feel a little bit better. I'm not congested anymore. I'm not coughing up a storm anymore. There's just a lot of changes going on in my life. My husband's planning on retiring in about a year. And so we're figuring out houses, building one here, going to sell one here. You know, it's just a big mess. And I thought for a while there that I would have to leave the design team for the Stamps of Life, but they so graciously extended me an offer to stay on to just cover the club merchandise. So I'll be doing a video or demonstrating stuff for the first of the month, and then of course the card kit. So I'm really grateful for that. But anyway, let's get on to this unboxing. Enough chit chat. This is the February card kit, and I can't get it open. Okay, so let's see what's in here. We have our fun idea card. And let's look at the papers. Well, we get our envelopes. So let's get that out of the way. And we get our storage. Okay. So let's do the paper palette here. Let me put the card to make sure that I'm on track here with these colors. So we have what it looks like to be Poppy. I like Poppy. Poppy's really nice and thick. Chocolate. Sky. Twig. Sunshine. Midnight. Marigold, kiwi, and 4 sheets of powdered sugar. So that's our colors. So let's get that out of the way. And we get stickers with sentiments on it. Pretty cool. Okay. Then we get felt borders, scallop borders. Pretty. And we get, oh, let's not forget our ribbon. Here's our ribbon. Oh, this one's nice. This one's almost like a furry. Oh, that's cute. And then, of course, the one that feels like suede. And we get a die that says thank you. And epoxy dots. Okay, get ready for this because I saw it as I was opening the box. This is so stinking cute. Look at this. They're little. I gotta open this up. They're little honey pots. Oh my gosh, is that not darling? Is that not darling? Ah, darn it, you only get 3. Don't you all be buying this. I'm going to try to get this before they sell out. They're all cute. Then we get our A1 card base. And it's a scalloped card die. And it says you get some flowers and best friends, and then you get the layering dies either with the dots or without the dots. Very cute. Now for the paper pad. Let's see what the paper has to offer here. So pretty. Okay. Bees. Oh, these honey pots. They're so cute. Bees and the beehives. These are the ones that you you can cut out with your dies. And you know what? I'm going back to the first one. You could probably cut this one out with the die. I have to see if I can get the die to go around that. Another sheet. So you get 2 sheets. Well, you're probably going to get 4. Best Friends. The Little Bees. Little Honey Pots. Best Friends Small. Oh, that's pretty. You get the honeycomb. Some Gingham. Is it Gingham? Yeah, I guess it's Gingham. Little tiny. And we start all over again. Very, very cute. Okay, so that's the unboxing. So let me get started on a few cards for y'all. All right, we're going to dive right in. And for the first card, we're going to do a sketch, or I'm going to do a sketch, just to get our juices going here. I pulled this one off the internet. It's a Sugar Sketch Challenge. I think it's Sweet Pea Designs. I'm not sure. But this is the number of the challenge. And I put in all the dimensions. It's going to be an A2 size card. It's going to be matted 2 times. So you can see what the dimensions are there. And I put the strips. And I'm also going to mat these strips. So that's what it's going to be to hold that. Now for the oval, the Stamps of Life, they do have 3 types of ovals. They have the dotted, the stitched, and they also have the regular. It's not exactly the same shape, but close enough. All right, so let's move the sketch out. And we'll start by, I already went ahead and cut the pieces out. So to start out with, let's do the strip that goes in the center. This is my 1 3/4 strip. Now it just has to be long enough. This card is going to be, well, we're going to line it up with the mat. So the mat from here to here is 3 3/4. So the strip has to be long enough to be able to fit on there an angle. All right. So I cut out, actually I used the back of the Friends mat that I'm going to use. So not to let that go to waste, I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And I know the arrows are going in a different direction, but I just want a little bit of a break in contrast. Then I got stuck because in the pattern paper, I couldn't find another pattern that would work well. You either got the bees or the honey pots. The other side, there were all the arrows, and I just wanted something different. So on the I don't know what these things are called, but these are the thing that you scoop the honey out with. The bottom strip was just a bunch of lines, so. And it just happened to be a 1/2 inch. And that's what I needed. So I just cut it out. And yeah, you got the paper glue here on the top, but I'm going to fix that. So that gives me the 2 pattern papers that I need for the sketch. And then I just cut a tiny little strip of kiwi, which I'm going to lay right there. And that's going to break it all up. And it just looks like lines. You would never know that it was the honey scoopers. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. On here. And then I'm going to take the 1/2 inch strip and lay it on there. And then I'm just going to run some glue right down the center and put down my green strip. Okay, I didn't center it right. As you can see, I left it up here too big. I wasn't paying attention. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the trimmer now and just slice off. It doesn't have to be an exact science. Okay, all fixed. Now in the sketch, this is going to be at an angle towards the bottom of the sheet, approximately. So I'm going to lay this down like so. So I'm going to glue that on there. Now, if I wanted to be really exact, I could have measured from here to here and here to here to see what the angle is. When I do these sketches and I find them, I download them onto my computer and then I open them up in Word. And Word gives you the ability to size this. So I always size it to an A2 size card. And once I do that, it gives me all the dimensions that I need. Like it makes it all proportional so that I can go back with a ruler and just measure to see what the size is of the parts. So anyway, now that this is done, I'm gonna just take a pair of scissors and I'm gonna slice it off. You do very good there. And there we go. Didn't do too bad. It was almost the same. Well, this is a little bit smaller because I went a little bit in. So now I can position this here and glue it on there. I'll make sure that I center it correctly so I don't have the same problem I did with the strips. Okay, there we go. Now the oval is going to go here, and I'm going to put some paper off camera. I'm going to put some paper to make it flush so there isn't a bump there. But I'm just going to show you the positioning of that because the next thing I want to do is I cut out the honeycomb or the beehive, excuse me. And I started playing around with it and I realized that the yellows were the same as the bees, and I wanted to have some kind of a contrast. So on this side, I kind of inked it. So I left the other side without inking so you could see the difference. And I'm going to do that now here on camera. But this gives it a little bit more depth to the honeycomb. So all I did was move this out of the way. Take some scratch paper, cover my glue up so it doesn't dry. And the first thing I did, and I did it on this side, but I didn't do it on the other side because I just wanted to show you, when you cut this out, you get a white, it's white there. And just to give it a little bit more depth, I usually take a black marker. Now, the Stencil Life they do have black markers, the water markers that they have. I don't want to use that because this is the one I've always used. And as you can see, the edge is fraying because I do this all the time from the paper. And that just cleans it up a little bit and gets rid of that white edge. And I'm going to do the same thing for the branch. I'm not going to go too crazy on the branch because we're going to dissect it a little bit, as you can see in a few minutes. I just want you to see the idea. Now, for the other side, I'm going to do what I did on the opposite side, and I took my Marigold ink and my blending brush, and all I did was go in and just give it a little bit of color on the edge, just so it pops a little bit more and the bees don't blend right into the same yellow. So you can go as deep as you want here. You could probably even use twig. Or you could even use more yellow if you want more sunshine, I think is the color here. And that just adds a little bit more, to my satisfaction, a little bit more of coloring to the beehive. Alrighty, I got the oval mounted on. All I did was just add a few strips of cardstock back here, so that way it wouldn't would be flush with the border that I put back there. Now, for the next dilemma is the beehive, and I kept calling it a honeycomb. It's a beehive. It's a beehive, and the branch is going to extend out from the card. And I don't want that, but I don't want to cut this part of the branch either. Even with the card base behind it, it's still going to extend out on the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to snip the branch. And I'm going to take the branch and figure out how far in I have to take it so it stays on the paper. Now this one here is a problem. It went on top, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so now I have to determine how far in, and right about there. So I'm going to leave the branch there, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Probably not the smartest way of doing it, but I'm going to put a little glue on the back. Okay, that's about right. Alrighty, moving right along. Let me start adding the leaves to this. I already have the beehive attached. And I got all these little leaves. And figure out how I'm going to adhere them on here. All right, so the goal is to cover this thing right here. So I'm going to just snip this little branch a little bit. Okay. And then maybe add another one. All right, I'm going to fast forward on this since this is going to take a few minutes. All right, let's start finishing this card up. We have a little bow that I used the suede-like ribbon from the kit, and I made a little bow, and I'm going to adhere it up there. I'm going to take a little bit of it, put that there, and I took one of the sentiments from the club set, and put it on a strip, popped it up, and I'm going to put it right about there. And then I'm going to take my little bees and add them up. Now the bees, I did add a little bit of very pale alcohol marker, and then I went over it with Sparkle. I think it's called Sparkle. The markers that are sold on the Stamps of Life, they give it a little bit of shine. I don't know if you can see it or not on the wings. Okay, so now we need some epoxy dots. As always, I add a little bit of glue. How about here? Trying to think about it too much. And where did it go? It got underneath my fingernail. Gotta laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. And then I'm going to take the card and adhere it to the card base. And that will be card number 1. There you go. All right, let's move on to card number 2. Okay, let's start with card number 2, and I'm going to do the honey pot folded. And I need to apologize. My last card was a little yappy. So I did a lot of the busy work off screen, so hopefully this one won't go as long. Now, if you're not familiar with the folded, this is what it looks like. You have the option of putting a little ruffle on it, or you could put the leaking honey. You've got the word honey that you could drop in here. And you've got the thing, I don't know what it's called, the honey scooper. And for those who are not familiar with foldeds, what you do is you just take a piece of cardstock and fold it in half, run it through the machine, approximately here, because you don't want to cut the fold off, and that gives you a shaped card, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. So let's move all these pieces over. And like I said, I did a lot of the busy work off screen. Now the folded, this is the way it would work. And I usually back in white, so that way it looks like it's a continuous white. So here is the layering die, which I cut 2 out of, in twig and in white, and I glued those together. And then I took the piece of the piece of die. It's a piece of die because you can snip it and paper piece it, and that's what we're going to do here. I didn't snip anything but on here, but I did on some other colors. Okay? If you have any questions, just ask me below. I mean, I assume that the people that watch these videos are the Stamps of Life folks, and they're familiar with the product. But if you need more information, I'll put another one out there that explains foldeds. Okay, so now let's start paper piecing this. I cut the band in the center out, and I'm going to drop it here and glue it here. And that gives me I did ink all the stuff, by the way, to give it a little bit of shading. Then you have the little, but before I put that, I want to put the top of the pot because I don't want it to be red. Okay, then put the ruffle. Oopsie, you didn't see that. I'm not even going to edit it out. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing the fun stuff. This was another thing I did off screen. I just cut out the honey scooper. I inked it and I backed it up with a shadow, and I put a little bit. Now this isn't the ribbon that came with the kit, but it is a marigold ribbon that came with the previous kit. I like this one better than the one that came with the kit for this particular card. I'm hoping to put that across there like that. Now, I have this piece of paper, and I want to make a tag. So what I'm going to do is open this up if I can get it open. This is, oh my goodness, what is my problem? Why can't I get this open? Get this open. And I'm pretty sure that the tag, it's not the same size, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it right in the center. I'm just going to plop that on there. This is the stitched tag die, and I'm going to cut it. I'm not sure where. I don't know if I want red border on, the red border on the bottom and the top look kind of cute. And cut it like that. So let me go run it through the machine. All right, it didn't come out too bad. It looks like it was intended that way. I think it'll look kind of cute. All right, let's get moving on. All right, the next thing I did was I cut out all the honey. Now, there's a couple ways of doing this. You could actually cut the letters out like I did, or you can drop the letters in to the paper and it'll look something like that, but then you got to say the little O. What I did is I cut the word honey out 4 times, and I layered them to add it a little bit of, to make it almost look like chipboard and give it a little bit of dimension on the words. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this as a guide to put my letters on, and I'm putting down just a little piece of, now this is Scotch tape, repositionable tape or removable tape. And I use this for everything because it doesn't rip the paper. And hold that there. And I'm going to drop the letters in. Then I'm going to take some more repositionable tape and hopefully I can pick up all these letters because they're kind of thick. And that keeps them for me together. And I can remove this. And now I can take the letters and add glue to the back. When you pull down, you want to go to towards an angle and go slow and make sure that all the letters are being adhered. And that's how usually again, that Scotch, okay. All right, now the kit came with can't quite see, so I'm going to just cut it so I can get a good visual of where this is going to go. So it looks like it's going to go from here to here. I'm going to take a little pair of scissors and I'm going to snip it, trying to follow the curve. And then we're going to cross our fingers and hope that this is going to fit across and that I put it down right. Of course, I didn't put the right. Oh, that's cute. Okay, now moving right along. All right, before I do that, I want to take the twine. Now, this did not come with the kit. This is from a previous kit. And it's a little bit difficult to work with. But somehow I'm going to make it work. Oh, I can mess with that forever. All right, so now we've got that completed. Now let's attach the whatever this is called. I guess I should look it up online or something. Or you all know, leave me down on the comments what this is called, because I don't know. I should have looked it up. All right, so put that down. Okay, now the Stamps of Life has these little dies called mini flowers, and using their felt, I cut out a whole bunch of little flowers, and with a brad, I attached them together, and I'm going to scatter them across the cards, across the card. Then I used one of the little bees that we cut out. This little guy over here is kind of cute. And I'm going to try to position him in here. Okay, now that's really cute. And that is the completed card. Okay, for card number 3, it'll be another A2 size card, and this time I decided to use the new, oh, what's it called? Hexagon background die. I think that's what it's called. And I went ahead and already mounted it all together. I did ink the yellow in the back with a little bit of twig, and I did mount it on some other red cardstock with a very, very fine border. These fine borders are starting to become a challenge. I really like them. I'm going to have to ask Stephanie if she'll come out with dies that'll be able to do this. That would be so awesome. Anyway, okay, so I did a thing. First of all, I took the stickers sentiment that came in the set, and I mounted it on cardstock and then put dots so I could pop it up. And the reason why I put cardstock on is because it's sticky. I guess another thing you could do is you can put baby powder on it, but I just put cardstock. Okay, so I did a thing. If you all remember this paper that was in the pad, I just think it's darling. It really, really is. And it's just a pretty, really pretty paper. So what I did is I cut 3 of these out and I embellished it. So I put one of the bees, and once again I used the small mini flowers and cut it out of the poppy felt and used the Friends Forever die set once again. For some reason, this bee set reminded me of those sets, and I think they work well together. So I'm thinking of doing something like this, and then I went ahead and created a little grouping of the honey pots, and I'm going to put it here. So it'll be a really simple card. So if you don't mind doing a little bit of fussy cutting, these honey pots are pretty big and easy to cut. And I'll be honest with you, I find it a challenge with these big patterns to make A2 size cards. So this is another option. I mean, I guess you could strip it. I think in the idea card, a strip of them was taken as a border, and I might just do that. I got 2 cards left, so I still have no idea what I'm going to do. But anyway, that's a thought. So let me go ahead and assemble this card. that is the finished card. This little bow took me a little while to get it in place, but it looks really pretty once you figure it out. And I added some epoxy dots because I felt it was kind of bare there. I don't know. To me, I don't know. I just love detail. Anyway, let's move on to card number 4. Okay, for card number 4, I want to use the sentiments that were released with the bumblebees this month. And it just says B. That's the name of the stamp set. So for this, we're going to try another sketch. I pulled this sketch off the internet, and unfortunately, I deleted it before I got the name of the sketch because I enlarged them. Once I enlarge it, the pixels will go crazy. But it's this cute little sketch, and the reason why I liked it is because it had this border down that matches the felt that came with the kit. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And I could put the sentiment here and a cute little bee here. And I said, oh, yeah, let's do this. So let me go and cut all the pieces out and see what we could do with this. Okay, this again is an A2 size card, so I went ahead and cut the card base out. And I cut out of the midnight paper, I cut 5 1/4 by 4. Then using, I can't tell you what I cut this out. I just know that it's 5 1/4 height. I didn't go all the way out because I knew there was something else was going to fill it. So it's probably around 3 inches, maybe 3 1/4. 3 1/4. I had to take a guess. Hold on. Yes, 3 1/4. So I cut that sheet out 3 1/4. So I'm going to layer this on. This is probably going to have like a 1/4 inch border all the way around. Yeah. Okay, for the sketch, there's this big half circle. And this is the largest circle of the Stamps of Life. It doesn't fit perfectly, but it works. But what I went and did was I took the circle and I also added the lacy scallop, lacy circle, lacy eyelet. I think it's eyelet. Wow, I should look up the names of these things before I start. But I'll have everything on the bottom, all the products listed on the bottom with the links in case you're interested in buying some of this. And I'm going to put that down just like the sketch shows. Then the little strip that's here is 3/4 in width. And I'll just trim the bottom off. Or maybe the top, because this is where the glue from the paper pad is. I'm trying to decide which side I like best that's going to be exposed. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I'm running out of glue. Not a good thing. Okay, so let's put this down. I'm going to take it all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. And then I'm just going to take a purse and I'm going to snip off the excess off the bottom. Okay. So now I have the border. And I want to make sure I lay this down right. So that way it's even with the scallops because the cardstock is just a little bit longer. I mean, the board is just a little bit longer than the card front. So let's see how close I can get it. I'm off a little bit. That's okay. I'm going to snip the excess off. And snip the excess off here. Okay. Now for the sentiment, what I did is I heat embossed Be Joyful. And then what I also did is I took paper and I embossed just some paper, and then I cut it to give this a really pretty edge right here. I'm going to butt that right to the felt that we just adhered. And hopefully I got it straight. I did, sort of. I don't know if I could fix it. I don't know if it's going to rip the paper. Oh, well, let me leave it alone. That's okay. So I'm just going to put some glue down. And I'm going to go down and push it against the border. Come on, stick. Stick, stick, stick. And I just thought that added a really pretty finish to that. Okay, just snip the excess. Now, I'm going to start putting the sentiment down. Now the bee, now I also did emboss the edge of the paper just to finish it off as well. I did put a couple little pieces of scrap cardstock in the back just to give it a little bit of a lift, because I want to put this at an angle and I want to put it over the joyful. And I got my bee. Now, if anyone likes this card and they want to recreate it, I'm going to suggest something here that I was not able to do. I would have cut the bee out with the die that goes right to the edge, and then I would have given it a shadow and a color, whether it be navy. I mean, I don't know, because I couldn't do it, so I can't tell you what I would have done. I couldn't get the dies, so I had to, I just can't cut to the edge of these things. It's too thin. So anyway, that's what I would have done. And then I pop these up with foam dots. I did add a little bit of Copic and blue on the wings and some sparkle. I'm going to put the bee right there. Now, I really wanted red pop dots or enamel dots, whatever these things are called. But the kit didn't come with the poppy color, so I had some from a previous kit. If I can get it open. But I really wanted to use the red. So, red it is. look at that, the glue came off. And then a little to the other little one. And then, oh, come on, stick. This came up. No. Okay, I'll stick that down in a few minutes. I must have not added enough glue. That's kind of cute. Okay. I wanted to get those sentiments in there, and I think this sketch was pretty good for that. And come on, hear that? Let the glue dry. Nah, this is a little leftover from last card. I thought maybe I could add it here, but I don't like that. Okay, so that is the finished card. I just need to go back and fix this. But that is card number 4. And now we'll go to our final card. All right, for our final card, I'm going to use the A1 card base that came in the kit. And I'm going to give love to all the other stuff I haven't given love to. So we have the honey pot, and I already went and cut the thank you, which is the word die that came with the set, and adhered it to some vellum. All right, for the honey pot, you can color these. So I grabbed some of the water markers. This is the ginger snap color, and I'm just going to add some color to the pot. I'm going to go ahead and color this. I'm going to speed this part up. I got strawberry and I got banana. So let me speed this part up. Okay, there it is. I love the way the wood grain comes through. You could probably use your Spectrum Noors on this too. Hold on, since I'm videoing, I might as well give it a shot. I didn't think of using the alcohol markers. I'm pretty sure you can. This is the yellow. The light yellow blend. Yeah, you can use your alcohol markers as well. So if you don't have the water markers, you can use the alcohol marker. Okay? Okay. So what I did a boo-boo. I wanted to use this paper, and I was so busy lining it up because I wanted to get the honey pots in the proper order that I didn't realize that I had snipped where I had cut the previous one. So I didn't get the paper cut exactly. So I put a little bit of double-sided adhesive on here. And I'm going to remove it. And I'm going to take some of the ribbon and I'm going to run it along the top to cover my boo-boo. Like so. And I'm going to try to hug it around the corner. Like that. And that way nobody will ever know that I cut the paper bad. I'm going to use that knot that I couldn't use before. I'm going to use it there. Okay, so let me finish with this ribbon and then I'll come back and assemble the card. There, all fixed. Now nobody will ever know that that was not what I intended. All right, I cut the base out in Poppy. I love that little border that it gives them the color. And Poppy is such a thick cardstock that makes such a nice card base. So I'm going to glue the front of the card. Here. I'm using my honey paper. Actually, you know what? If you leave it like this and just put a little sentiment strip, it'll be a really cute card. But now I use the vellum like always, so that way you could still see the pattern paper in the back without the words not getting lost. So I'm going to glue on the thank you. Put that way high because these are big letters. And I'm putting the thank you right here to leave room for our honey pot. This would probably be a card that you would hand to somebody because these wood chips are pretty high. It'd be a pain to try to mail that. I mean, unless, of course, you put it in a padded envelope. Come on, stick. And then I took the little honeybee because he's so cute. And I'm going to put him right there. And that's it. A very quick thank you card. Very colorful. And here are the 5 cards that I created with this month's card kit. And I hope one at least inspired you. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, and please subscribe. It sure helps me out a lot. It doesn't cost you anything. Have a wonderful day.